Hello, this is the TradeSite Forex Market Preview and International Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Sunday, the 15th of November, 2015, and ending Friday, the 20th. Hope you had a good trading week. Actually, it was a very slow week here on Forex, at least. You can see that the last 5 days here on the dollar index were very sideways and choppy and really didn't accomplish much, and neither did we this particular week. Let's go through the daily charts, and then we'll take a look at the intra-week action, and then we'll talk about what's on tap for the next week. So that's the dollar index. Here's the euro dollar, which basically just looks like that inverse. And you can see we've been in a 1,000 pip range all year, basically on the euro, which isn't that big. We'll talk about that more in a couple of weeks, just how the range has been for the year. Not spectacular. Pound also very flat for the year, basically a 1,000 pip range for the last 8 months at least as well. And it did have a little more of a move this week than the euro. It came back up a bit. Here's the Aussie dollar. Had a decent day Wednesday, but that was about it. Pretty flat otherwise. Pound yen, also very narrow days. A couple of up days to start the week. And the euro, look at that euro yen. And that's not even tradable the way that plays out. All right, let's look at 30-minute candles so we can see the whole week on the euro dollar. High to low is not even 200 pips, and right there's your problem. We're talking about 140 pips from high to low, basically, and that's usually average single day range. So you need to see about 300, 400 pips a week of range to really get anywhere on the euro. And we definitely did not see that. We closed right about where we opened for the week. Actually, we were sitting right there late and then rallied a couple of pips into the close there on Friday. Here's a look at the pound dollar. A little better range here, like I said, more like 230 pips for the week, and a little better opportunity maybe, except for Thursday and Friday, which were so flat. But overall, again, the ranges were just not spectacular. There's nothing else really to say because there's no setups on the daily charts or the intraday charts in terms of specific exhaustion signals or patterns that we look for. So it's just more intraday trading setups using our levels like we always do. And obviously we need a little more range than what we've got right now. So let's look at the week ahead. It is the last normal week of November because the week after is the Thanksgiving holiday. So Sunday we've got the G20 meetings. We just right now are watching a situation unfold, by the way, in Paris. It looks to be a terrorist situation in multiple locations. And we'll see how that plays on the startup on Sunday as well. So the G20 meetings continue. We've got retail sales out of New Zealand. First look at GDP out of Japan for the third quarter. The Rightmove HPI, that's the housing price index out of the UK. And Australia has new motor vehicle sales. Going into Monday here in the U.S., final CPI out of Europe. We've got manufacturing sales and foreign securities purchases out of Canada. Empire State Manufacturing Index out of the U.S. That's not a big deal. A couple of speeches. Heads into Tuesday, the Italian trade balance, CPI out of UK, along with their PPI and RPI. I always think they do it right. All their inflation data comes out at once instead of spreading it out. I think we should do that here as well. We've got the German zoo economic sentiment and the broad European zoo economic sentiment at 5 a.m. Eastern time Monday morning. CPI out of the US, that's one of our big three each month, so we will be half size ahead of that going into Tuesday with our trades. Capacity utilization and industrial production here. Mortgage delinquencies come out at some point between Tuesday and Thursday. NAHB housing market index is at 10 a.m. and the TIC long-term purchases at 4 p.m. on Tuesday. CB leading index and the MB leading index, along with wage price index, all out of Australia Tuesday night. Zoo economic expectations out of Switzerland, 10-year bond auction out of the UK. We've got a Fed member speaking. We've got housing starts and building permits here in the U.S. Crude oil inventory is back on its normal day on Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. We've got minutes from the last Fed meeting. We've got the PPI out of New Zealand. We've got trade balance out of Japan. We've got monetary policy statement out of Japan. We've got all industries activity out of Japan and the Bank of Japan press conference. Trade balance out of Switzerland going into Thursday in the early hours. Current account out of Europe. Retail sales out of the UK. Spanish 10-year bond auction. We've got wholesale sales out of Canada Thursday morning. The weekly unemployment claims number out of the U.S. Then Philly Fed here and CB leading index. Natty gas, that's the weekly number. Another couple of speeches out of Switzerland and the U.S. CB leading index out of China. Credit card spending out of New Zealand. We've got Bank of Japan monthly report in Japan. German PPI, public sector net borrowing in the UK. And then Canada releases their CPI and retail sales data. And finally, consumer confidence out of Europe. I never know why that comes out so late the European day. It's 10 a.m. Eastern time. Very strange. That's on Friday as well. So the big one is the CPI, and that's not necessarily that huge right now since inflation is obviously well in check. But we will be half size ahead of that Tuesday, Monday night going into Tuesday. Other than that, straightforward trading week for us, and let's just hope the ranges are better. Charts as usual brought to you by eSignal. If you have not taken a trial of our services, you can feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. If you do find these videos useful, please like them on YouTube. It does help us out.